Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Working Trader, where we look at the Euro USD and GBPUSD and come up with trade ideas for the day, if there are any. So let's look at Forex Factory. Today's Wednesday. We have CPI for the pound and FOMC for the USD. So we have high impact news events today. Okay, so let's look at the charts. Let's see what we can expect. So we do have this. So as I've already said, for a while, when this bearish trend, we have had a break of structure to the downside. Price had a pullback, sub these areas, and now price internally has shifted bearish again, and we're having this strong push to the downside. So possibly to come in and mitigate maybe this area, if not to continue to take out these relative equal lows and ultimately this week daily low. That's on the Euro USD. And then on the pound, um, the swing break is bullish. Swing break was bullish, and then we had an internal pullback, and then we had this push up to the upside, and then now we're having a strong push to the downside. Okay, so it could be price ready, maybe eventually ready to push higher, or it would just be this is a small pullback as price continues until it makes a new low. Okay, breaking this strong low right here. So on the daily right now there's not much. Okay, so let's look at the 4-hour, and I'll go on the Euro USD. So looking at the 4-hour, that's the swing range. Okay, so that's the swing range. We just bearish. This was our last break of structure, and then internally we were bullish. This was our internal break of structure, and then now price is bearish again. Okay, from an internal sub-internal standpoint. Okay, so internal range and then sub-internal. Price is bearish, aligning with the swing structure. So we do have trend line liquidity right there, and then relative equal lows, and then we have a weak low at the bottom as well. So there is a lot of liquidity resting at the bottom, and price could easily continue to melt all the way to the downside. So let's look at the 15 minutes. Looking at the 15 minutes swing, this is a swing range. Okay, and then looking at current price action, okay, so I had this area that I'd marked, and this POI, it had a sweep, and then price had an aggressive push up, and then eventually we had a break of structure. Okay, so this is where price is, and price is reacting at the moment. So we've had a shallow reaction. Looks like it might fail, we don't know, but okay, this is what we have. So internally we had our break of structure to the downside again, so that means swing is bearish, internal is also shifted bearish, so everything is aligned bearish. So it's high odds to be looking for shorts continuations. Okay, however, the fact that this is after break of structure, at some point we're going to have a reversal. Okay, at some point we're going to have a reversal. Okay, so what do we see? This is what we have. So I'll be waiting on that to be liquidated. That's Asia low. That is New York low. That could be liquidated. And then to the upside, could say we have a trend line. Not quite. But yeah, we do have areas to target. Okay, areas to target. So to the upside, I'm not seeing much. So as of now, the internal trend is here. We have this low, we have this high, we have this lower low, and then everything else has been internal, is internal to that. Okay, is internal to that. So we could wait and see. Alright, so let me mark it. So we have this high, of this low. So this is kind of the range that price is in. Okay, this is the range that price is in. So could be waiting for price to come in, sweep this area, and then look for longs. Okay, obviously targeting 3 to 1 quick hits, or hopefully it being able to reach this Asia high, and possibly sweep these areas as well. Okay, before it continues to the downside. So these would be the trade ideas. So either it could start by doing this, or it could start by coming up, sweeping Asia high, and then maybe this high, and then then we start looking for shorts. Okay, those will be aligned with the swing and internal trend. And then if it starts by sweeping low, taking out Asia low and this New York low from yesterday, then I could then be looking for opportunity to go long. Okay, so those will be my trade ideas for the Euro USD today. Just gonna set my alert. Okay, so let's look at the pound. So starting on 4H, this is the range. This is what we see. So we know that this is our swing range for the pound with an internal break bullish and then internal break bearish. So this is currently the bias is to the downside. Okay, bias is to the downside. Now obviously prices come down, hit this area after break of structure. After break of structure, liquidation, we do expect a pullback of some sort, and then this is what seems to be the pullback. So price could continue maybe until it mitigates this before it continues lower. Okay, so looking at the 15 minutes, so looking at the 15-minute, this is the range that we're in. That's the swing range, that's the swing low. Okay, and internal is shifted bullish. Okay, so on the 15-minute, internal is shifted bullish for the pound. So this becomes the new range that I'm in. Boom, boom, like that. And then we've had a bit of a retracement with relatively lows. We do have trend line to target. We did have the first sweep, and then prices come down lower. So okay, the way I'm looking at it is let's see, within the whole range we have not come up to premium. Okay, we have not come up to 50%, so around this area would be 50%. Okay, cool. So this could be price doing this. So we have internal, and then now price could lead to another break of structure and then continue until we mitigate this before we eventually get some shorts. Okay, so looking at today, so we do have relative equal lows. And that's what we have, relative equal lows right there. Okay, so we do have relative equal lows. We have a trend line. Part of it has been swept. We also have relative equal lows at the top. Asia high. Okay. So I'm just gonna put Asia high. Okay, so we have Asia high, and then of course we do have all these highs at the top. So this is the last high that made this low. This lower high didn't make a low. If I look at my values, that's 33,783. That's 33,786. Oh, it did make a low. Okay, it did make a low. Yeah, it did make a low. Zoom in. Okay, so it did make a low. Okay, so this is my last high. Okay, so that means we have low, lower high, lower low, and then this makes this the current range that we're in. Okay, so I'm waiting for price to either come up, sweep this area, Asia high, possibly this structure high, and then we look for shorts. All right, to align with the swing trend. However, this is also the internal trend. Okay. And then what else? So right now this is where price is. So my expectation would either be for price to continue lower. Okay, sweep these lows, and then I could look for a quick 3 to 1 to the upside, or price comes up, sweeps all of those highs, and then look for a quick 3 to 1 as well to the bottom side. So whichever happens first, I might then be looking for a trade afterwards. Okay, of course we do have this area of demand right there. Is it a valid one? Yes, there's a decision out. This is where we had price break. This internal range. Okay, so yeah, so this is what we have. So price could continue to drop even until it mitigates this area, and then could start looking for longs. Okay, so those are my trade ideas really for the day. So please, if you do find value in this material, don't forget to like, to subscribe, to leave a comment letting me know how you are using this in your own trading. Also, please do share with others whom you may know that may benefit from this content, and that way you're also supporting the channel so that I can keep doing what I'm doing. Otherwise, have a great day, and Waking Trader out.